Okay, yes, welcome everybody. Welcome to Tonic House and the basement here at Tonic House, the home of Roy Morgan, and welcome to the 8th annual Roy Morgan Customer Satisfaction Awards night. With over 280 companies measured across 32 categories, these awards really honour Australian businesses who are leading their fields in satisfying their customers, as recognised by the customers that you all serve. So tonight is a celebration of you. Tonight is a celebration of you who are the winners. And it's pretty exciting for us to be in a room full of winners. Not often are you in a room full of winners. So fantastic, and congratulations to all of you. So here we have Roy Morgan, our founder, and June Kent, his assistant. And June is still alive today. Since 1941, our founder Roy Morgan set out to measure public opinion. And when he spoke to me, I was really fortunate to work with Roy and to be a youngster at Roy Morgan before he died. He actually said the reason it was so important to measure public opinion was because if we didn't accurately and faithfully record the views of the public, then we were leaving it open for journalists and politicians to claim that they spoke for the people. And that resonated with me at the time, and it seems even more important today. So the whole idea, the whole value base of actually speaking to people, listening to their views and faithfully representing them is really at the heart of what Roy Morgan does. And it's what these awards are about. These awards are not what I think or what anyone else kind of thinks is a good company. This is what your customers actually say about you. And so it's very much to the heart of what we at Roy Morgan do. Now, you can see here, this was some time ago, the fundamentals of the truth in these things, independence, accuracy, are still important, still critically important. But since then, there's been just extraordinary change in the world. When you see something like Uber, which is really just a software tool, it's the biggest car company in the world but doesn't own, or the biggest taxi company in the world doesn't own a single car. You've got Airbnb, probably the largest hotel company in the world, doesn't own a single room. You've got this massive kind of disruption going on that relies on very different things than in previous times. And while traditional car companies are trying to build better cars, tech companies like Tesla, Apple and Google are just basically building computers on wheels. The cheapest smartphone is now available in Africa and Asia for $10. That means by about 2020, it's considered that 70% of humans will own a smartphone, and access to knowledge and information and education will be available to all. Everything's changing. All of these things have incredibly dramatic implications, many, many positive, but quite challenging for existing businesses. And what we're seeing at the moment is our institutions really under threat because people don't trust them anymore. The distrust is exploding around most major institutions that we operate with. And the future sustainability of any business relies on trust. And what we're seeing now is trust begins with that sort of sacred contract that you have with your customer. It's more than that. You can kind of make terrible mistakes, but it begins with that sacred contract with your customer. And that's what we're measuring today. We're measuring how customers feel about your companies. So how do we measure it? The data comes from our interviewers going out, knocking on people's doors, so personal, face-to-face interviews with real Australians. Every year we interview 50,000 different Australian people in their homes personally, asking them which companies they deal with, a whole range of things, how they're going to vote, where they bank, what car they drive, all of these things, but essentially which company they deal with, and whatever company they deal with, how satisfied are they? So that's the source of this information. It's real. It comes from real people. And then once we've got enough data on every company, so once we've hit 100 interviews with somebody who's given us responses about that company, we start to put them into the award category. And across each of the 32 categories, every month we bring out the winners. Essentially, we're looking at the percentage of people that are satisfied with that company, and if you're at the top level of satisfaction, you're a winner. And then to win for the whole year, the annual award, you have to have won more months than the next person. Pretty simple. So like all of our figures and all of our research, this stuff is independent. You can't pay for it you can't pay to be in the award, you can't pay to win an award. It is really the truth coming from the people that we interview. So everyone here is here on their own merits. And of course, being a Roy Morgan Customer Satisfaction Award winner doesn't just mean you get an award, it means you get sort of 12 months of bragging rights. You can tell people that you've won in whatever way works for you. So some people sort of do skywriting, some people actually just, put logos up all over the place, and there have been some fairly creative ways of using the award logos. Up to you. And of course, the media loves a good customer satisfaction story. They do love a bad customer satisfaction story, of course. So, and that's always the thing with these things. If it goes bad, it really goes crazy, really goes viral. But it's fantastic if you can actually be going out and the media picks up how much your customers like you. And that, of course, encourages other customers to be your customers as well. So the 32 awards are all measured pretty much on the same scale of satisfaction. So you can see, you can't probably read this from here, but you can see it on our website. And you see that some industries are really well loved. So car companies do really well. People love their cars. The other things, people love furniture and electrical stores. They're going to love these things. They're generally in the high 80s or 90% satisfaction. But then if you're a utility provider, it's a lot harder to satisfy people. Or if you're a retail superannuation fund, really hard to satisfy people. So the levels, kind of taper off once you get down there. And that's just what it is. But you look across the whole industry, you can benchmark yourself against your competitors or others in different industries. We'd now like to ask you and welcome you to come upstairs to our rooftop to continue the celebrations and conversations. And we will also announce the best of the best across all of the categories.